Hail and well met. Welcome to episode five, haha, of Twilight of the Realms, the Westgate Irregulars spinoff that follows the adventures of some of the minor characters who showed up during the original campaign and the latest threat to the realm's entire. I am Eric Scott-DeBee, the DM of this game and one of the founding members of the Dungeon Scrawlers. Writer, game designer, Twitch streamer. You can find my work online. I'm writing the superhero series called Justice Vengeance. You can see a couple of the books on the shelf right there. If you do !Justice or I think !Angel, either one will take you to a link that will lead you to those books. Before I hand it over to our excellent producer, Allie, I'm going to tell you about our dice partners. We have two dice partners, Norse Foundry, which specializes in making metal dice that are extremely destructive for monsters and for your table and for your feet if you drop them in the wrong place. The dice are beautiful. They give you this very cathartic feeling when you roll them. Do roll them in a special dice tray, however, because like I said, they will ding up, wooden surfaces, but they're very worth it. And then there's Phoenix Dice, which are named for the mythical creature that rises from the ashes. Phoenix Dice are made from all recycled materials. They're constantly trying out new recycled materials too. So go ahead and check their website to see what new stuff is coming. You will find discounts on the doobly-doo down below. Go check them out. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alexandra Pitchford, or Allie for short. I'm an author, game designer, and GTRPG streamer, producer, editor, too many hats, too little time, something. I have nothing to promote right now because, unfortunately, at this point, the Kickstarter for my for the anthology that my short story was going to be in did not make it to the finish line. But there are potentially some ways that could still make it out. I think I don't want to say because I don't want to promise anything. That's still kind of up in the air. But I'll keep people posted as new information arises. In any case, I'm playing Shay Darksong, the Shadow Dancer, former protege of Illyra Nathalin at this point. I'm not sure. Half vampire, bad mistakes, so many mistakes.
Relationship status, it's complicated.
It is extremely complicated. But enough about that. I have a sponsor to tell you about, and let's see if I actually remember to self-edit the read today. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Farida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Web, Epic Game Store, Google Play, Xbox Series S and X, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. For more information, check out idlechampions.com.
Idle Champions has been a long-time sponsor of the channel, and we've updated that ad read as new generations of gaming software have come out. Hardware. Yeah, and we're so very pleased to have them sponsoring our show. And if you are here from Idle Champions, do use that code and get yourself some free stuff. All right, Cora.
Hi, my name is Cora. I am a writer, game designer as well, though I have nothing to promote at the moment. I am playing Callista, the phase-scarred ranger, who is really starting to wonder what she's gotten herself into with this cadre of... Do we want to call them heroes? I feel like they're trying to be heroes, but I think she's questioning that. So cadre of individuals. We'll leave it at that for now.
We're in too deep.
Yeah, that's what I got. Okay.
Hello, my name is Kyrea Tedrekin. You can call me Kay. I have a Patreon, Kyrea's Creations, and I think I'm going to talk about something old. My name is in this book. It's the Book of Passion. It was put out by Misfit Studios several years ago. I had the privilege of being the playtest coordinator on that, and if you like a little bit of spiciness in your Pathfinder First Edition games, please do check it out. There is a Book of Passion bestiary in the works. I'm not sure where the development process is on that, but I'll mention it again when it's closer to publication. I'm playing Sorrow, or the Raging Sorrow, Tiefling Barbarian Warlock, who's going through some stuff right now. Not too happy.
Mood.
Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen. I go by Savage Sparrow on the internet. SavageSparrow.com is my super awesome website for nerdy apparel and accessories. I am hopefully at this point will be in the process of promoting my eventual Starfinder 2 clothing line on Kickstarter or BackerKit. I haven't decided which one I want to do yet. But regardless, it's awesome. So get excited. Also, patreon.com/SavageSparrow is my Patreon where you can join for free and see the art I've worked on, or join for money and see the art that I'm working on now, which is pretty neat. I am going to be playing Ilmarin, who is a drow aberrant mind Sorkadin. She took a nap last episode, and I'm sure that, she's gonna wake up well rested, knowing everything's fine. All the problems and horrors from the previous night are just, nothing to worry about. It's gonna be great.
Could possibly go wrong.
Exactly.
Also, I want to take a second to point out that the way Eric introduced us made it sound like we're the threat to the realms.
All right. So, we're going to start this session with Ilmarin. Ilmarin, you are sick. You woke up the day after helping with the sick and wounded in the House of Ilmater, using up all of your magic, all of your healing to help as many people as you could, working until you collapsed. And when you woke up, you were ill. The rest of the party was getting ready to head out, track down those Shadar-Kai who attacked you during the night and were repelled by the wards and traps that the Ilmatari and Callista had set up. But however much Ilmarin wanted to go with them, there was just no practical way she could do that. She needed to stay in bed. She needed to let her body heal a little bit more. And it's not sickness like the way normal people get sick, okay? It's a soul sickness. It's an emptiness, a hollowness in yourself and in your mind. Like this has happened to you before. Much more intense than this, but it has happened where you have felt separated from yourself, as though your mind is kind of like refracting in a mirror, and the mirror is gradually warping as it gets reflected. And to some extent, perhaps it is a kindness that the others left and don't have to interact with you when you feel like this. It is a secret pain and suffering that only you have to deal with. But eventually, you got back into your reverie, back to your rest, until you were rudely awakened around high sun by a sharp, horrendous, empathic pain that woke you from your rest. And you are still mentally connected to Shay, and you can tell that this is Shay's pain.
Okay.
And it is, well, what do you want to say?
Like a psychic feedback?
Yes, exactly. Okay. What do you want to say about this pain, Allie?
Oh, well, I think I would say that this pain feels like, I mean, it's fear, it's anguish, it's horror. Like, if you had to put terms to it, this is the sort of suffering someone feels when one of their greatest fears is realized.
Oh.
So, Imarin, you awake to this awful, awful feeling. It's a bit like having a nightmare yourself, except the nightmare continues into the real world, right? Above you, the House of Ilmater is... you hear sounds of sorrow and sadness, and laments, like people weeping and crying. A priest, not the same priestess that you interacted with before, is there in the basement, bringing you food and water to break your fast. I mean, you haven't had anything to eat or drink for like 12 hours at this point. And he says, you have awakened. He seems obviously sad and not distraught, but like saddened. And he sets down the plate.
So like, I imagine that she's just like sweating and like panting heavily, and kind of just like looks at him as she's like trying to like get a handle on like the managing the feedback, and just says like, "What's happened? Where did they go?"
I shall answer your questions, but are you quite well? Do you need healing?
Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Where did they go?
My dark lady, I am a servant of a deity that is all about caring for those who suffer and are in pain. I cannot but worry about you. Your companions have left, and they went off on the trail of the attackers. Quite a pity that they did not stay, for there has been violence this night in the House of Ilmater.
What?
Yes. Our high priest lies dead, slain by one of the patients. One of those poor, unfortunate souls who came to this house in search of healing.
Where is the patient now? Have they...
Fled, disappeared into the night, and well into the shadows of the morning. The attack only happened after your companions left, however. Some in the clergy think that there might be some kind of connection. I would suggest that you take your leave as soon as you feel able to do so. I would not want people to be distracted with suspicions and fears.
I understand. Is there some sort of tunnels that avoid the daylight, or...
If you wish to avoid the daylight, I suppose you could go through the sewers. Lots of travel through the sewers, particularly among your folk, which is to say adventurers.
Your kindness is appreciated, but not have to hurt them all.
Well, then I shall say, sell swords and scoundrels. Particularly enjoy the sewers. You have another stab of furious agony in your head, as though Shay is in acute psychological distress. You're pretty sure that you know where, or you can at least follow the feeling to where Shay might be.
I was gonna say, can I send Shay a message? Because if we're still linked. Otherwise, I can just use message to be
Well,
let...
the message spell has a specific range, and
that's...
Shay is outside that range.
Okay. Because I was.
And your psychic link is not quite strong enough for you to communicate with her, unless you have like a sending spell or something.
What level would that be?
I think sending is a 3rd level spell, possibly a 4th level spell, something like that.
I do have sending.
Well, there you go. So you know each of your companions well enough that you could send a sending to any of the 3 of them. Doesn't have to be to Shay just because your minds are linked.
Yeah, but as far as she knows, she doesn't know where everybody else is. So
Correct.
I feel like she would directly send to Shay. Tell me where you are. You don't have to use words, just send me an image.
All right. What does she get back?
I think.
Well,
You're muted.
no. I got it.
There was some hesitation. Like the silence drags out. You can feel Shay's mind still connected to yours. And then she responds.
Market Square. I can't. And then it's just that's it. That's all you get.
Okay.
Well, those are all the words you get.
Yeah.
That's all
But
the
you
words
also
you get.
you also get this like horrific dark hunger that comes through. Like almost overwhelming what Shay was trying to say to you. And it's not active hunger, it's satiated hunger.
Ugh.
Yeah, it makes you feel a little sick to your own stomach.
So she basically like clutches her chest kind of like this and kind of recoils and will look at the other guy and be like,
Nice. My lady.
Can you get me my cloak? I think I need to move faster.
Okay, yeah. He helps you get your kit together, and he gives you directions to the Market Triangle. He also says that there is a sewer line that goes directly to the Market Triangle from here, the Temple District, if you wish to go through the sewer. Although it is a cold, dark, overcast day, so you wouldn't be in direct sunlight even if you went outside.
Okay. If that's the case, like, which way would be the fastest way at this point?
Just going over on the street,
Okay.
probably.
Less
Less opportunity for goblins to waylay you, etc.
Yeah. And in that case, that's what she's gonna do.
Okay.
Is it close enough to get there quickly, or should I fly?
I mean, it's up to you.
Okay. Okay, let's fly. Oops.
Okay.
Sorry.
There's the
All right,
one.
there we go.
There's
There we
the
go.
one. I've been so good.
Ilmar and you head out of the house. You hear lamentations from inside the house, and then you cast your fly spell and you project yourself through the air in the direction of the Market Triangle. Okay, so in the Market Triangle, all of that just happened. And Shay, you're pretty sure Ilmarin contacted you, or maybe you just thought of Ilmarin and you sent out some brief cry for help. You're not sure if it actually got through. You're not sure of anything right now.
I'm probably
Starro,
not even
you're
sure
in
if
a
I even spoke those words aloud. So.
Exactly. Starro, you're in a similar boat. You were also experiencing a little bit of distress, shall we say. Callista, you are the only one who mostly has it together, or at least appears to have it together. Donna pokes her head back up from behind the stand right in her shop. She is, of course, the herbalist, Red Wizard of Fae. She is not dead, okay? She was obviously engaged in some kind of disagreement with the Shadar-Kai who mazed you, but she has revealed herself to be alive. And she says, "Oh, that was quite a thing. Are you all right?"
I think at that juncture, Shay is going to double over and vomit blood onto the street.
Black blood flies all over onto the street. Donna's looking out the door. She's like, "I see. Silly question."
We need to get out of here.
Are you well?
What?
The shopkeep.
She says, well, she adjusts her scarf, her headscarf, which was starting to show a little bit of a tattoo on her forehead. She says, "Oh, well as can be expected. I know when to fight and when to hide. I assume that you are in some kind of trouble and would appreciate discretion."
It would be appreciated, yes.
I see.
She'll just kind of give a look over to Shay and not say anything.
I, as a merchant, appreciate business and custom.
Well, I had already intended to contact you concerning some consistent matters of business.
Consistent matters of business are my favorite kinds of business.
I thought so. And Callista will reach into like a little fold in her armor, and will pull out like a folded up piece of parchment to offer her.
Mm-hmm. She takes it, looks at the list. Ah.
How consistently can you supply me that concoction? And how much is it going to cost me?
How soon do you need it?
And she'll kind of pull out her canteen and pop it open, or not open it, but kind of swish it around a little bit, checking how much is in there.
It is very low. These ingredients range from the mundane to the very exotic. I certainly can acquire them. If you need them quickly, however, she tears off part of the paper and writes a number down on it and slides it across the desk to you. It says 100 gold pieces.
100 gold pieces.
For quality and speed, of course.
Of course. And this would be for end of day.
End of day.
And for a consistent supply?
Every 10 day? Or more frequently?
More?
Half that. Okay, I see Kay has a question.
Are Shay and Sorrow still out in the open, or did we go into
Well,
this?
I'm gonna cut back to you in a second.
Oh, sorry.
We never actually established how much gold Callista has from that last job.
Correct. We'll say that you have enough gold to cover at least this dose.
Okay. Yeah, so Callista will pull out her bag, open it to look at it, and then just roll her eyes and then just toss the bag on the table.
Okay. Donna accepts it. She says, "I much appreciate your custom, and I look forward to serving you in the future. I shall see you by end of day. If I do not see you, I shall have a runner deliver your order.
Thank you.
Okay, and we'll cut to Shay and Sorrow. So, I'm gonna assume that Shay has kind of broken down into catatonic vomiting in the street.
I think
And-
she stopped vomiting at this point, but she's weeping.
Yeah. People are staring at her and they're like whispering and they're like, isn't that Shay Darksong? I thought it was Shay Nathal, and I thought, isn't she the owner of the Purple Lady? That kind of thing. Sorrow, you are also very upset, but you were a little more in control of your faculties. Like, you've gone through this before. You have relapsed and screwed up many times. It looks
Yeah.
like Shay is a little more new to absolute destruction.
Shay, come on. We need to get out of here.
I can't. I can't.
You know what? Breakdowns are best had in private, not in front of all of these people. Come on, inside. Let's go.
I think she still kind of is just like, just.
Don't make
she's
me pick you up.
barely responding. You may have to. She's not really. Like, she's kind of lost it at this stage.
Toss her over your shoulder.
Nah, I'll be gentle and scoop
Okay.
her up and carry her like so.
Princess Carrie.
Where'd that ranger go?
All right, yeah, Callista is speaking with the shopkeeper. You also see a shadow descend out of the cloudy sky, and it is Ilmarin. Ilmarin, you have arrived at the market triangle.
Oh, thank goodness.
So yeah, she's gonna immediately like look around for like anybody she knows.
Oh yeah, there's a big group of people staring at two people you know, Shay and Sorrow. And Sorrow has picked Shay up, cradling her like a princess, and is headed toward a shop of some kind.
Okay.
There are
It
also
appears to
bodies
be
in
in
the
a-
streets.
It appears to be an apothecary, herbalist, something like that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so she's going to basically like
Are you gonna do anything about the crowd?
ooh. Do I have any to do about the crowd?
Stirring speech,
Okay.
nothing to see here, hypnotic pattern. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to
Fireball.
I'm trying to play a good character this
Yeah,
time.
no,
here.
I understand.
So yeah, she's just going to be like, oh god,
Look, Fireball is a viable solution to any problem, because if it doesn't solve the problem, well, at least now you have a new problem.
yeah, it's the answer and cause to all problems.
Circle of fireball.
Ooh,
So,
uh,
should we say you just aren't going to do anything with the crown? You're just going to and then head into the shop?
I think I will try a
Oh, okay.
because I forgot.
Neat.
Yeah.
I was like, do I do a speech? And then I'm like, wait, no, drow. Who would trust the drow has the good intentions of a crowd?
Yeah,
so
everyone's like, is she threatening us? I think she's threatening us.
so she's gonna like very calmly and politely like walk towards everything and just be like, you know, like, don't worry, everything is fine. Just need to go home out your. I
well, yes.
All right.
I think that's the first time I've seen somebody cast that on this stream without singing Taylor Swift.
Calm down.
Yeah, that's a callback to when Rogar would cast this spell, because his verbal component was always singing "You need to calm down," which is pretty great
In a Scottish accent.
in his
Amazing.
very dwarf Scottish accent. So let's see. So they're going to need to make a charisma saving throw. Okay, great. So there are a lot of people. I'm just going to roll one die. I'm going to roll several dice, actually. And none of them succeeded.
Awesome.
All of them are, well, they were starting to get a little freaked out by all this,
Yeah.
whatever happened. Ilmarin, you see that there is the desiccated body of a pale-skinned, sort of elf-looking person, a Shadar-Kai, you're pretty sure. Desiccated, as in like all their bodily juices have been drained out of them. There's not even a blood pool, right?
Well, there is a blood pool. It's just
Well,
on
there's
the
a
ground,
blood pool like adjacent, but not under them. And that blood pool is tinged with stomach acid. That's what I'm saying. And all these people were getting a little freaked out, and then your spell calms them, and they just kind of like shrug and go about their business, returning to capitalist nightmare status quo.
Okay. I imagine Ilmarin will like see the body and kind of, without breaking concentration or her pleasant face demeanor, because she grew up in Menzo Veronson and has a very high charisma. She knows how to keep her face cooled, but she will like utter some sort of drow curse word under her breath.
You have seen bodies in that state.
Oh, have
Typically, they've been drained by giant spiders.
Great.
And typically, they're wrapped up in webbing.
I feel like if that's the case, like she like pauses her stride and kind of like, gets a little paler, like, but then like double checking and making sure there's no webbing or anything on it. Like she's just like, okay.
Yeah, there's no webbing.
It's fine. Cool.
Several puncture wounds from a rapier.
Okay.
One of which is obviously poisoned. Like there's like foaming corrosive poison dripping from this wound.
Oh dear.
I mean, and then never mind the puncture wounds in this person's neck.
Yeah. But all the blood came from this person's neck. 2 bites, actually. One in kind of the shoulder, and then one in the right on the carotid, just right there. All right, you head into the shop.
Yeah.
Callista is negotiating with the shopkeep. Sorrow is still cradling Shay, who is kind of sort of catatonic at this point, just kind of
Catatonic. The lower half of her face is just covered in black blood.
Oh yeah.
Sorrow's covered in kind of the same black blood. Like it's sprayed all over her after she did some violence.
Yeah, it's definitely battle spatter on Sorrow. And on Allie, it's more like on Shay, sorry. It's more like I am a very messy eater and I got food all over me.
What happened?
This is like the community meme where you come in with the pizzas and
It's literally that. Everything
it's
on
literally
fire.
that. Yeah.
We found him. We killed him. Except for that one.
Yeah,
Lefty over there.
There is one unconscious Shadar-Kai. You realize now that he is unconscious. Initially, he appeared to be dead. He's just lying there very still, but he is faintly breathing.
Oh.
The shopkeep says, Ah, yes. Perhaps if you wish discretion, you should not do all of this here. I can show you the back door.
Where are we going?
Please, if you'd be so kind.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. She shows you the back door,
Home.
which has a convenient sewer entrance if you wish to take the sewers.
Wait, let me try to put her in a better state. It is.
We need to get out of here. Let's get back to the Purple Lady, and then you can cast your spells.
It will just take a moment, and it will help.
Now! And you notice Sorrow's upset, and she instantly regrets snapping, but she's not sure what to do about it, so she just starts walking.
I feel like Ilmarin just exchanges a glance with Callista, just like
And Callista just kind of lightly shakes her head and then just moves to follow.
Okay. So we'll fast forward a little bit for the journey back to the Purple Lady. Shay said home. Home is the Purple Lady, essentially. There's a sewer entrance. Well, I shouldn't say a sewer entrance to the Purple Lady itself, but you could get to an area near the Purple Lady through the sewers if you know how to open this particular secret door, which Shay can give you like monosyllabic instructions and point to a particular brick and such. But she is out of it, and she gets more out of it as you go.
Can
Just stop crying.
Can I cast calm emotions on her while we're walking?
Yeah, now that you're away from the crowd and you
Yeah.
don't have to sustain the spell on them anymore, you can do that. Shay, do you want to resist?
I don't think she really has the wherewithal to resist.
Okay. It would be the most emo thing ever if you said, "I will resist."
I want the pain.
You'll
Okay.
take my moping from my cold dead hands.
Yeah.
Mom, you would never understand. Okay. Yes. And this spell has an area of effect. So it's technically going to hit all of you.
Sorrow would resist, not consciously, but she would. She doesn't like it when people mess with her emotions, so.
Okay, Sorrow, make a charisma saving throw.
Okie dokie.
Callista, if you would like to resist, you'll have to do that as well.
Natural 1.
Oh no! Sorrow's just like the most chill. Like, so chill.
Our
most
rage has
chill.
left you, Sorrow.
Mhm.
You feel
Oh.
lucid, actually. That might not be for the best.
I don't like this.
Callista, did you...
Callista got a 9, so
Okay, Callista, you were also calmed. So, calm emotions has several effects. One, literally it just calms you down. So it is the anti-anxiety spell of the Forgotten Realms / Dungeons and Dragons as a whole.
And where's that been all my life?
Right?
Yeah.
2, it prevents you from being frightened, and it prevents you from being charmed. Neither of those things can happen while you were under the effects of the spell.
I don't think I like this, but I think I need to apologize to you, Elmara, and I'm sorry I snapped at you back there.
No. I am sorry. This has a wider effect, but that one, I can feel in my head very loud.
She
And,
went feral. It's kind of
uh,
cool, actually.
It did not feel cool.
Oh,
Um,
Can we just go inside, please?
yeah. Yeah. I hope you will forgive me, but I felt you might want to be more yourself, or what's
Feel like that one time I smoked some halfling weed. I didn't like that either.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I'm going to assume that Callista is the one who's been dragging the Shadar-Kai along with you.
Probably.
Okay. I mean, unless you
Over
wanted
the
to leave
shoulder.
him at the apothecary, which... Yes, Kay.
How long does the calm emotion spell last?
Let me see. Concentration up to 1 minute.
Yeah.
So it's not a very long thing.
Yeah.
If you were using it for anxiety treatment, it would be like an emergency soothing med, right?
I figured that that's how she she used it when we got to the secret entrance so that way she could let us in.
Right. Yeah, Shay, you became lucid enough that you could instruct them in getting through the secret entrance.
Yeah. She's still very, like, blank, but she's definitely calm.
Okay, so you get up into the Purple Lady. You're basically in the back rooms. You don't have to go through the front. This is a secret entrance that Shay and Ilra use, and you're not sure, Shay, if anyone else even knows that it's there. I mean, Mirren probably did, but she hasn't been in the city for years.
Well, she
and
had a
maybe she
memory of
didn't.
it. You know,
Yeah, and she wouldn't remember it now, probably.
Yeah.
And Shadowbane probably knew about it, but you haven't seen him in a long time either. Like, you are struck by how far things have changed and how many things have been lost.
How alone she is.
Do we want to go up to the bedroom, or just will we just set you down here?
Bedroom's still a wreck. There's another room we can use. It's and she just kind of blanks for a moment. No, the bedroom's fine.
Up we go.
Okay. Yep, the bedroom is still a wreck. Because nobody was instructed to clean in here, and the staff is under strict instructions not to go in there unless requested. Too many mistakes have happened. Too many times somebody's walked in on something they really shouldn't have. And I don't necessarily mean that strictly in a sexual way. Like, there's been some shit that went down in that room. All right. So, yeah, you get there. The room is empty. It's a wreck. There are, in fact, some potted plants, all of which have been introduced to the environment by Shay. They're not necessarily very healthy potted plants, but
Look,
they are
she
there and they
tries.
are alive. Ilra seemed to have a aversion to flowers and plants of all kinds, which even outlasted her curse. So, there you are. The bed, despite the mattress being overthrown, it has one of those like fluffy, newfangled feather mattresses. Most beds in Westgate are the rope beds, that you'll like tighten the ropes before you go to sleep, and that'll, suspend you. That's what sleep tight means, right? But this is an actual feather bed imported from somewhere exotic. Like, it still retains the smells of a foreign land. Shay could probably explain all of that to you, but Shay is staring at the wall and thinking.
Sorrow sets her down on the bed and then collapses into a sitting position heavily on the floor.
You are muted there, Jen.
Oh, shouldn't be. Does anyone need healing? Start with anything else.
Yeah.
Shay is pretty, Shay's pretty messed up. She's like below half health. but she's also fairly nonverbal at this point. So,
Okay.
Seated them first.
Who looks the most hurt?
Shay is probably the most hurt.
Uh,
I mean, she restored a few of her hit points by draining blood, but
so
quite a few if those backstab dice actually accounted.
So how many hit points would you say you need?
Well, I am currently at 41 out of 93, so
Okay.
I'm also gonna say that you're basically taking a short rest here.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to spend hit dice to restore yourselves, you can also do that. But yeah, there's definitely some like Ilmarin going around treating wounds,
Mhm.
bandaging up, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When you updated my sheet, you also erased the damage that I took. So I'm not sure exactly how much it was, but it was only about 30 or so.
All right, we're gonna say don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Do you want me to expend any healing spells?
Nah.
I don't think you really need to.
Okay.
Callista,
Okay. While Ilmarin's tending to wounds, Callista's going to take the lovely prisoner here. And she's going to go out in the hallway and she's going to look for the portion of the hallway that has the best lighting.
okay. This hallway is full of shadows. Whether that is intentional or just kind of subconscious, it's hard to say. But there is a window at the end of the hall, which is shuttered. But you can open up those shutters and get full light that way.
So she'll open up the shutters, set the Shadar-Kai down, and then pull out her rope and tie him up, sitting right there in the sunlight.
Mm-hmm. He's asleep, unconscious, and it kind of like in the sunlight. It is still faint because it's an overcast day, but he still doesn't like it.
Good.
Okay.
And then she's going to come back into the main room, into the bedroom, and she'll kind of look around and she'll eye those plants for a little bit, but then she'll focus on starting to like pick up and clean up a little bit.
Okay. Other features of the room: the very large bed with purple and black sheets and comforter and stuff. Like I said, it's a feather bed, and the furs and such are black and kind of gray. Just it's posh. It's nice. There's also a fireplace. No fire currently. There was a secret cache in the fireplace, so like there's a moved brick in the fireplace. There is a bathtub, which was moved slightly out of the way on a raised stone dais. The tub itself is just copper, I think is what I said last time. Faintly oxidized and so faintly green. There is also a tap to the tub. They do have running water here at the Purple Lady.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
I think
that is a spendy thing to have in Westgate, but Ilra and Shay did pretty well as an information brokering guild.
Power couple, one could say.
I think Shay does kind of recover enough of her wits to very shakily take out like a handkerchief or something and just start cleaning her face off as carefully as she can manage with her hands shaking.
Okay.
Ilmarin would help. Assuming.
Thank you.
Hey, Jen, your microphone's kind of low.
Hey. Let me see if.
I don't know if I can right now.
Do you want to show me?
Oh, sure. Her eyes, she just kind of stares off into the distance. And I think it's not she's not intending to show you, but it just kind of flickers through her mind anyway, which is like as Sarah described, her going well, so the Shadar-Kai, her facing against that Shadar-Kai that you saw desiccated. The Shadar-Kai hitting her with like something like inflict wounds, and that triggering this complete loss of control. Like she's just suddenly filled with rage and pain and grief, and she throws herself on this Shadar-Kai and drinks her to death. And then it's the moment she gets like pulled off and finally realizes what she's done that horror hits.
Drank her to death and beyond.
Oh,
Like she drank some like dead blood too.
I feel like Ilmarin would like sort of like pause for a second, like again, like all the Drow school of like hiding feelings and emotions like in this moment, but like there's still just that pause of like, oh, I have to process this. But you know, she would go back to just calmly, you know, helping Shay like clean up and get herself like more presentable. And I mean, that's the wrong word, but you know, again, she grew up in Mensa Bronson, so she knows how it be. So so basically like just kind of with that idea of like, okay, maybe if we can get you at least looking more like yourself, you'll start to feel more like yourself. But she would very quietly say, you know, let me find what is the thing again. Blah 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 blah. Sorry. So there. If you take nothing else from what has happened today, I would like you to take these two things from me. Number one, that it is not any time we fall, we can and will get back up again. The lady always shows us the way. That is why the moon shines upon us. And more importantly, that you are feeling this way. As horrible as it is, because we are still connected, so I can feel it too. But that you are feeling this means that all is not lost. You have not become what you fear the most. So please do not give up hope. And she would like hold her hands like when she says that.
Oh, she gets it like that. There's a
Mm-hmm.
Shay grips back, but it's like death grip. It's just like very, very hard. She doesn't say much, really. She just kind of squeezes back. She's still very... Words are failing.
Yeah. And Ilmarin will just like very calmly like hold her hands and just like be that pillar of reassurance in this moment, like, you know, Uh, uh, there was once a time when I was lost so thoroughly in darkness. Uh, and I thought that there would be no escape, but then I saw her lights, and it was a long path, and it was so very hard. But I understand what it is to feel like there is that a darkness that cannot leave you, but you are strong, Shay. You can defeat this, and you are not alone.
I think, like tears will start to well up again, but she just kind of stays kind of zoned out. There's a lot of emotion roiling around in her head, and it's all a jumble of like pain and loneliness and loss, and it's all a mess. It's such a mess.
Yeah. And Omarin will just send back like just warmth and understanding, because with a redemption paladin.
That's right.
And just mostly focusing on just like the vibe of like no matter what, there is still hope.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to move to another scene, but I think it's a good time for us to take our break. So you want to do this up for 10 minutes, and we'll be right back. Don't go away. And we're back. All right. So we're gonna go to Callista, and Sorrow is gonna join her in a second, I believe. So Callista, the Shadar-Kai comes around and flinches away from the light in this kind of like Nosferatu sort of way.
Good morning.
What is good?
I don't know. Kind of like the overcast sky. Just a little bit of sunlight.
Do you want
Information. And I mean,
Well,
given that we already left you alive, you're in a pretty good position to pay back that debt.
kind of fumbles with his bonds? Remember that he only has one hand, so he's like, killed my allies.
They didn't give us a choice.
No. I will not talk to you. So at that point, Sarah comes in. Sarah, there's like some like feelings fest going on with Marin and Shay in the bedroom. They're having a moment. It's fine. That's not really your style, though. You head out into the corridor where you find Callista starting to interrogate the Shadar-Kai, who has awakened, and he is tied up. Like he is, like one arm is lashed to the other one, which is lashed to his body. It's a little bit tricky to tie somebody when they only have, one hand, because typically bonds around the wrist work because they are tighter than the hand, so the bonds won't fit over the hand, right? But Callista, she's got some trickery and style to what she's doing. Big in scouts, perhaps. Very good knots. Okay.
Maybe a little shibari going there.
Maybe.
Sorrow is still kind of, trudging along, dragging her sword behind her, so it's making a scraping noise along the floor. She looks at the Shadar-Kai and says, "Oh, hey, Lefty."
Oh, he looks like very leery of Sorrow. He's like, pity that one survived.
She turns to Callista. Any luck getting anything out of this guy?
Not yet.
He swears profusely in Elvish at you. This very dark version of Elvish.
Sorrow turns to look at him. You're not scary. I'm scary. I killed your friend. After she surrendered, I cut her in half. And I enjoyed it. So you're going to tell me what I want.
All right,
Got
make
it.
your intimidation check.
With advantage, and the mark is glowing a little bit again.
Yeah, the mark luminesces a little bit,
She's not
Like-
even aware at this point that it's doing that.
leaving this little yellow fire light trail.
19 is the best roll I got out of that.
Okay, so you have obviously eroded his composure a bit. But rather than getting upset or fearful, he gets unnaturally calm and apathetic. He's like, I do not need to speak with you. Death comes to us all. You threaten me with nothing that I have not known and embraced.
And who said you were dying?
There will be pain and good. Pain distracts me from the suffering that is life. The loss of darkness, the sorrow that awaits us all. And he looks at Sorrow very keenly when he says that.
So you're not gonna tell us a damn thing, like why you're killing priests or anything like that?
So you ask that question, and then you hear a from behind you, and realize that one of the serving lads had come into the hallway, and is just looking at these two very upset ladies interrogating this guy against the end of the hall, and then he quickly heads off.
Let's take him into the special room.
Special room?
She picks him up, kind of by the ropes, and drags him into the interrogation room.
Yes. During Sorrow's time in the Westgate Irregulars, she has spent a great deal of time at the Purple Lady, and she knows that there is a room. Many fest halls have rooms like this that are very well soundproofed and warded against spying for, shall we say, very secretive assignations or conferences between agents. And the Purple Lady has just such a room, and Sorrow knows exactly where it is. Sorrow has been in that room several times under several different circumstances, shall we say. You two head to the interrogation room, which is not too far off where you are. Like, Sorrow puts out her arm and pushes open a secret door, and it leads you to that room.
And she drops him on the floor and then closes the door behind her.
I am with the darkness, and the darkness is in me. There is nothing that I would give you or say. You are wasting your breath.
So
How about a name?
I am in the darkness, and the darkness is in me.
So you're not going to tell us why you're killing priests?
I have slain no priests. But if I had, I would have done it for the sheer joy of seeing the faith in their eyes melt away into despair.
You all are a charming fellow.
You know what? Pain's not gonna work. Death's not gonna work.
I have an
Oh,
option.
I was just thinking. How about light? Nice, bright light.
Are you intimidating him with the threat of bright light?
Her mark glows again a little bit because she's considering using a. Well, actually, thaumaturgy is a tiefling ability, not a pact ability.
It is.
She's gonna create. I mean, it's not a light spell or anything, so it's not going to be that bright, but just give the hint that there's more where that came from.
Oh, so it sounds like you're making a deception check.
Yeah, she doesn't actually have any light spells.
Yeah, I understand. You do have advantage because you're using thaumaturgy. So make a charisma deception check with advantage.
17 or 18.
Okay. Yeah, that's a success. He flinches away.
Hey, Callie, you got any light?
Do I have any light? I have a light. It's a light I shoot at people. I'm not sure that's quite what we want.
You are fools. Torture does not work, especially upon Shadar-Kai, but in general, it does not function. It will not get you the answers you wish. What you must do is offer me something. Is what he says.
Lista notices Sorrow leaning over him for a second and then shaking her head and backing away.
Let's not have him end up like the other one.
A pity. I like pain. He
Good for you.
says.
Good for you. And Sorrow leaves the room, closes the door behind her.
Lista, make an insight check, please. Or a perception check, either one.
That is a 30.
Oh, wow. All right. Not only did you notice that the Shadar-Kai seemed uneasy when Sorrow left the room, but you understand that that indicates a fear or an anxiety of his, which is being alone and without stimulation. Like the things he has been saying haven't made a lot of sense. But you realize that he's been trying to goad you into continuing to interact with him, whether that's verbal or physical or however. You got a 30. I mean, I'm giving you, I gotta give
Yeah.
you everything.
Well, since you can't even bother to give us a name, and I have nothing to really offer you, I think we'll just leave you alone for a bit.
So make a charisma check of some kind. It could be diplomacy or persuasion or intimidation in this case.
I'll do persuasion.
Okay.
It's a 33.
Oh my god. Wait.
Wait.
I am Matarin,
There we go.
collector
that so
of
hard?
souls. He seems a little relieved actually that you're staying and talking to him. He says, "You have slain my companions before we could complete our mission."
What was your mission?
We were searching for someone.
A prince?
A prince.
What prince?
A prince of shade, who was last known to be in this city by the sea.
A prince of shade.
I would continue my mission if we can come to an arrangement.
And what does you intend to do with this prince?
Make another charisma persuasion check, please. He's considering whether to answer or how to answer.
28.
His mouth quirks up a little, and you see it. He has very sharp little snaggle teeth, and he goes, "Rescue him."
And what do you know of his last whereabouts?
He was in the Tower of Despair and Pain, the one that fell, the one where we sought him out, where we encountered your large friend. She is an exquisite creature.
I'm very capable with that blade.
Yes. You,
So-
however, are touched by all two different shadows.
The prince was not in his tower.
It was not his tower. He was a guest in this tower of suffering. But we found no sign of him, neither alive nor dead.
So you pursued us.
Yes.
Why?
Make another check.
$29.
He is being surprisingly forthcoming with you. It seems like you've established kind of a rapport with him, in fact. Like, maybe he thinks that you are on his side. Maybe you are on his side. Regardless, he tells you an answer, and it doesn't seem like it's out of guile or an attempt to deceive you. He says, "Because one of you smells like the prince."
Which one?
The shadow among you. If she is not his already, it is only a matter of time. She can point us in the direction. She knows where to find the prince.
What do you mean if she isn't his already?
He considers. The prince has a way of turning all to his way of thinking.
So
you are
if-
familiar with such things, are you not?
If the prince is removed and you take him home, does that influence stop?
Should the prince wish it, yes. Is that the bargain you would make?
It is the bargain I will bring to my companions for them to make. But your answer is very informative and very compelling.
Think on it. Might I make a suggestion?
By all means.
Send in your friend again. While you consider. I would have words with her and pain of her. It will keep me focused. This task warrants my full attention.
I will inform her that you requested her presence. Whether or not she shows is up to her.
She need not speak a word, only give me the pain that I require. Okay,
All right.
that's all he says.
Then it seems I have people to talk to. And Callista will get up, pause, polish off her canteen, and then walk out.
Tell her to decide quickly. And the door shuts. Okay.
Sorrow's sitting on the floor in the hallway, kind of almost rocking a little bit, trying to calm herself down.
How are you feeling?
Been better.
Well, you have a fan.
Lefty? What does he want?
He has requested that you keep him company and provide him pain while we discuss the reason for his being here. I told him the choice is entirely up to you.
For a few moments, a long pause, Sorrow. You can tell that she's struggling a lot with this choice. But then she just gets up, stalks toward the bedroom, and growls, "No. Not gonna give him what he wants."
And Callista will just smirk a little and then follow.
Back in the bedroom, Shay and Ilmarin. Shay, you have taken some relief, some solace from Ilmarin sharing your pain with you. Obviously, she can't actually take your pain physically, but like just being there with you is in support is important, and you feel a certain rapport building between you and Ilmarin. Ilmarin, you feel a certain rapport building between you and Shay beyond the simple mental connection. You've found your way into people's minds many times before, but finding your way into someone's heart is more difficult.
Aww.
Shay's kind of been quiet for a while, but I think finally she does manage to find her words a little, and just says, I don't think we've actually been introduced, have we?
A lot has been happening. Between the murder and the death, and my unconsciousness.
It's been a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She falters for a moment, like she's not sure what to say, and then finally manages to just say, I'm Shadar Nathalan. Pleasure. And you like if the connection's still present, you feel like as soon as she says the last name, there's kind of this like fresh stab of sorrow and pain.
Like Ilmarin's eyes kind of like, close for a second. Just in that sympathy. But they would also feel some guilt. And Ilmarin would very gently say, my name is Ilmarin. It is a pleasure. Well, it would be nice to have been under different circumstances. It is also very pointed that she did not give a house name.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, I don't think Shay's in a state of mind to catch that.
Yeah.
And B, she, I don't know, like she just kind of brushes it off and just like, it's better circumstances would have been nice. I don't meet many other followers of the Dark Maiden in Westgate.
Well, it can be funny. Truthfully, I was not entirely certain why I was being sent to find you, but maybe things work out.
That'll actually, like, she'll kind of sit up a little bit at that. You were sent to find me?
Yes, by our sisters.
Why?
GM, if you could please remind me why. It's been a while.
Sure. The priestesses of Elustrite were annoyingly vague, but generally speaking, they said that you needed to seek out the lonely one. Shay. Shaira Malevere is what they said, which you assumed might be her last name, but actually just means the lonely one.
Oh, okay.
Because you were to be instrumental in her journey, and you would save her from the shadow. That's what they said.
Classically vague.
Very vague. Very annoyingly vague. They were all dancing naked at the time, though, so it might have been, just a miscommunication
like
because
vibes.
you were.
Everybody's in a moment.
Right.
Probably some hallucinogens involved. Who knows?
Yeah. You were all on MDMA from the moon. Yeah. Which is the best kind of MDMA.
Yeah, that's what the M stands
Moon
for.
DMA.
That's right. Moon DM A something. Yeah.
It wasn't clear, but they said that I should seek you out, because I would be needed to guide you on your journey, and something about a shadow.
You'll have to be more specific. There's a lot of shadows.
Believe me, if I could be more specific, I would be. But
well, you remember that vision that you had of the symbol of Shar to Shay.
Well, I imagine it would have to be tied to that vision of that aspect of Shar, no? It seems the most obvious.
She looks like she's about to protest for a moment, and then she remembers something. and kind of like head cocks slightly. She said that my suffering would be sweet to the lady.
What?
Callista and I, when we encountered the Shadar-Kai, were thrown into some kind of illusion, hallucination, something. It was torturous. And then there's that stab of pain again. There was someone there.
Based on her description and
Yeah.
her memories, it sounds like she's describing a maze spell,
Mm.
although it's one that is especially emotionally torturous.
Mm.
All right, go on.
Like a spell that I might have.
There was someone there that she wasn't behaving like herself. And that's what she said to me. That my suffering would be sweet to the lady. That's a Sharon maxim if I've ever heard it.
Do you know when roughly you stopped feeling the touch of the Dark Maiden? Perhaps we can figure out work backwards and maybe figure out how this infection occurred.
Would I have noticed anything before the attempt to use my magic at the restaurant in episode 1?
Make an intelligence check. You're consulting your memory. You can. It could be investigation if you're trained in investigation.
I am. I think I am anyway.
Yeah.
Let me double check. Well, I'm not.
Rogues,
I'm not actually.
lots
So
of skills.
intelligence.
Okay. Yeah.
It's gonna be the same roll no matter what. I got an 8.
Not really. Like, you've been feeling less relieved in moonlight than it. Like, moonlight is typically a comfort to you, a boon. That, like, when you're meditating in the moonlight, you feel better and more at peace. But lately, that hasn't happened. Like, you're having difficulty finding meditation in the moonlight, streaming through your window or on the rooftops, etc. But you're not sure when that started.
I don't know. When did the others walk in?
Okay, the others come in about now. And I don't know the mood exactly. Like, Callista
Yeah.
and Sorrow are having kind of a like, yeah, screw that guy sort of like
Yeah.
vibes. But you know, anyway.
Sorrow starts pacing. She's obviously got angry tension built up and she's trying to get rid of it.
Like, I want to hit something sort of tension,
Yes,
even though I just declined to hit that guy.
exactly.
Yep, gotcha. Okay.
And Callista probably just has like this energy of just resignation. She's tired.
Callista's been in difficult situations before with people who have been not upfront about their bullshit, and by the time she's figured out what's going on, it's too late. She's in too deep, and this is kind of like one of the situations.
Sorrow, are you alright?
No, I want to hurt something.
Would you like to spar? Would that help?
No, because I want to hurt something, and I don't want to hurt you.
I mean,
That
clearly out of
really-
character.
Mhm.
Sorry, go ahead.
And you notice that the thought of that really upsets her. Like she stops pacing and
Uh,
yeah, I don't want to hurt you.
Ilmarin would sort of like, give Shay a light pat on her hand, and then just like get back up, because I assume they were just kind of like on the floor, sort of like whatever like corner Shay was like, withdrawing into, like
Shay was kind of curled up on the bed,
yeah.
but yeah.
Okay, yeah. So she'd get up and walk over to Sorrow and just be like, if assuming Sorrow allows, would lightly like put a hand on her forearm and just be like, I assure you, I am stronger than I appear.
No, you don't understand. I enjoy hurting people. I enjoy killing people. I was born evil, and the first time I ripped somebody's throat out with my teeth when I was 5 years old, it made me happy.
And so did Sorrow pull away when Ilmarin touched her?
Yes, she flinched
Okay.
a bit.
Okay. Ilmarin would move slightly so she can like look Sorrow more in the eyes. And she would say something to the effect of, look at what I am. None of us are born evil. We are the products of what is around us. And
That's
this
true
is-
for everybody else, but not me. I have devil blood in my veins.
If it is not a path that you do not want, then you do not need, you can be guided. I have seen kindness and I have seen goodness within you. It just needs to be nurtured like anything else.
It's not easy for me.
It's never easy. Nothing worth having is easy.
I guess. But I still want to go back to that room and rip that guy's head off.
He hurts people. The instinct to want to reciprocate that hurt is a powerful one. But
It doesn't even matter that he hurt people. I don't care about that. I enjoy hurting people.
Sorrow, look at where you are right now. You are here instead of in that room. There is a part of you that does not want to give in to that instinct.
Yeah.
And that's really brave of you. So I want you to see the strength that I see within you, because you are so much more powerful than you think you are.
And Sorrow sits on the floor. Maybe. It just feels like being good, whatever that means, is against my nature.
Ilmarin would sit down next to Sorrow and similarly like give her hand like a light pat and just be like natures do not have to be so cut and dry and defined. Like anything else, life is a journey, and these paths that take us all new different places as we meet new people, as we experience new things. You are not, just because you began in one place does not mean that that place has to hold power over you. And also,
I tend to be quite right on most things, so you should believe me.
That does get a chuckle out of Sorrow.
Okay. Ellie, Shay's kind of thing.
As they're talking, Shay will kind of manage to look up at Callista and go, Did the Shadar-Kai say anything?
He did, and I think it's good that everyone's already taken a seat.
Right?
Shay, it seems you have another affliction of concern.
What are you talking about?
The Shadar-Kai are here looking for a Prince of Shade. I take it from your expression that has more meaning to you than it does to me.
She'll sit fairly upright at that. I'm surprised it doesn't have meaning to you. Shade,
More does not mean none.
fair.
Decades of spy versus spy going through Shay's head right now. She's just like,
The Princes of Shade were, the rulers of the Netherese Empire. They're all dead.
Apparently not. One was a guest at the Temple of Leviatar, the tower. And apparently he's attached himself to you.
Sorry, what?
They say they smell him on you.
Okay, first of all, that's creepy. Secondly, how? I don't...
I don't know. I know what he told me. I know what their mission is. I know that if this is true, and this is the case, that this prince may have influence over you that will grow worse over time.
What's wrong with me?
I don't know. Maybe.
Then how do I stop it? How do I get rid of it?
I don't know. That is something that he might be able to help us with. But it requires working with him. And in so doing, he will work to rescue that prince and bring him back to wherever he belongs. It's not a great choice, but it is a choice that has to be made.
Okay. I wouldn't even begin to know where to look. I mean, this is the first I'm hearing of any of this.
Is there anyone you know who might be able to provide more information concerning anything relating to Shade or the Shadar-Kai or some connection?
One person, maybe. But I don't know where she is.
Question for the DM.
Yeah.
This commune thing that I have for my mark, and it gets me in touch with either Lilton or somebody connected with him. Does any of this sound familiar to Sorrow in so much as does she think that it would be helpful to consult with Wilton, would he know anything about any of this stuff?
Well, Lilton, that is Lilian, Lilian Vieton Lardrageth, is a epic level bard who knows a little bit about a lot of things, and he could theoretically tell you about that. Has Sorrow attempted to commune with him in the past since his disappearance?
Probably at first when she was at her lowest and wondering why she left or why he left her.
Okay.
But
she received no answer when she attempted that.
Okay, well,
which probably made it worse.
Yes. So she hasn't tried probably in the last few months.
Okay. Do you want to try that now?
Well, first, Sorrow says, I might know someone who could fill in some of the blanks.
Who?
You're not gonna like it.
No, he's gone.
He's not
Sorrow.
gone. As long as this is here, he's not gone.
This is giving me more questions than answers.
A guy named Lilton, I can't pronounce his full name because no. But he's
Lord
a demon.
Lilton. Right.
He's
Lord
a demon
Lilton.
fae thing guy. I made a pact with him because I was stupid and lonely. And he's not a nice guy.
My wife's ex-husband.
That too.
That sounds complicated.
You have a bar
Extremely.
downstairs, correct?
Yes.
I'll be back.
Okay. So, Callista heads down. We're kind of coming up on time here. So, any last minute things you want to do, this would be the time. Only check in with Ilmarin, because Ilmarin has been watching all of this, listening in. Maybe a little bit of, but nothing to matter.
My brain is currently fogging up right now, so
I understand.
if I can pass,
That's fine.
I might think of something.
Well, I would like to make that a campaign thing.
Oh.
Where Ilmarin is listening to this complicated story, and her brain does this thing when she's sometimes overwhelmed by information, where it disassociates and starts breaking into pieces and focusing on different things. And Ilmarin can start to see the room kind of like unravel and unfold. Like it's like seeing the textures in a poorly rendered scene. Like Shay's shadow is T-posing against the wall as though it has not fully rendered. Nobody would understand if you tried to explain this to them, obviously. Only Ilmarin would understand. And when Callista leaves the room, she just kind of blinks out, like de-renders, just gone. And as you're sitting there, you are aware of the presence, like right behind you. But you're sure that if you look around, it will not be there. It will disappear, or something worse will happen. There is a presence there.
So, I feel like while they're all talking, like, and Ilmarin's like feeling this, she's kind of la, like spacey, whatever. And when she starts to feel that, Sorrow would notice that, like, her posture kind of stiffens, and at this point she like clutches onto Sorrow's hand.
Sorrow would look at her. Hey, what's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
This very strange laughter, Ilmarin.
Oh,
It's not real. It's not real.
Whoa, hey, Lauren, who?
It's not real.
Hey, Amarin, listen to my voice. I'm real. I'm real, and Sorrow, squeeze her hand.
Yep. You can kind of focus on Sorrow's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we're not the only ones who need help sometimes.
Thank you.
Healer, heal thyself, or whatever the saying is.
You know, sometimes mind plays tricks. Especially when your mind can go so many places.
I think we should talk about that sometime. I'm not very good at, advice or whatever, but I can listen.
It is. I don't know if I can explain with words.
Well then, do the mind thingy.
I don't know if that would be a good idea right now. Just maybe later.
Hey, I'm used to chaotic minds. Mine's chaotic, so maybe later.
I
If you're gonna fall apart, let us know.
I don't think that will happen.
Well, come to think of it, we're gonna have to sit down and do this because you're the one who was going around helping everybody else, healing people in the whatever temple, and then you ran yourself into the ground. You were sick. You passed out. So yeah, we're gonna help you. Isn't that right, Shay? We're gonna help her this time.
yeah. Yeah, of course. Shay will kind of get up at that point and just be like, I need some air. And then she's gonna walk out of the room herself, very shakily.
So, Shay, as you were witnessing this going on, and Ilmarin, I should point out that the world has mostly gone back to being normal again.
Mm-hmm.
Shay, as you were watching this going on, your shadow kind of like slowly moved around and then detached and headed toward the door.
Where do you think you're going?
We're not going anywhere. What are you talking
Keep
about?
slipping away.
Hey! And she'll start heading after her shadow.
Okay, it is heading toward the interrogation room.
Well, she's following it. She's hurrying now. If it's trying to keep ahead of her.
Does Sorrow and Ilmarin follow Shay, or do you just let her go?
Ilmarin would like to, and would just be like, I'll be okay. I just.
Sorrow will hold her hand and keep her here. Everybody's losing their damn minds, but you know what? We're gonna help you put yours back together, and then we'll get to Shay.
Yeah, as
Okay,
Shay's
Shay, you
following,
get out in the hallway.
Yeah.
The shadow is moving around the end of the hallway. You could still see it though. It's still within your
yeah,
view.
as she's following it, she's gonna shout down the hallway toward the way that Callista would have had to go to get to the booze. Callista! And then she's gonna keep following the freaking shadow.
Okay. Sure enough, it is headed to the interrogation room, which was recently opened, which matches what Callista and Sorrow said, right?
Mhm.
And it slithers under the wall into that room.
That's below. She'll pull it open and follow it inside.
Okay, what awaits you in that room is not what you expected. Sure enough, there is the Shadar-Kai who was being interrogated, who is leaning back against the wall with his throat torn open and blood trailing all down his chest. And a message written in blood in front of him. The shadow pauses, kind of like touching at the message, pointing at the message, as it were. And the message, in plain, in plain language, says one word: Manchun.
Shay will
that-
curse very loudly.
And that is where we will end it for tonight. I have been Eric Scott to be DM of this twisty, intrigue-laden game set in the shadows and loss and involving Shar, the Lady of Darkness, one of my favorite antagonistic deities. You wouldn't necessarily know it by my writing, however. I write about superheroes and other fantasy stuff. You can see some of my books there. I want to give a shout out to the Discord server. Well, no, I was making a joke. Obviously, you would know that about me if you read my writing, which is very dark. Anyway, shout out to the Discord server for the Dungeon Scrawlers. We talk about this game and other games on the stream. We have a whole bunch of very creative people there talking about the various projects and things that they're interested in, talking about books, talking about games, video games, tabletop games. We're also the kind of sister home of writing about dragons and shit with a podcast with B. Dave Walters and Trevor Bettis and Aaron M. Evans, and it is amazing. And you should come and check us out. There will be a link somewhere down there in the doobly-doo ! Discord will take you to where you need to go. Anyway, thank you for coming with us on this journey. It's only going to get darker and twistier from here. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I am Alexander Pitchford, or Allie for short. And yeah, definitely, like I said, check out the Discord. You can check out my Patreon at patreon.com/Alexander Pitchford, where I have short stories that I've written and published. And my new story, The Trial of the Black Rose, may show up there. I'm still figuring that out, but we'll see. I think tonight's been interesting because Shay's been through a lot. I was going to try to have Shay have a moment with Callista at the end there, but apparently my shadow had other ideas. So stay tuned, I guess, because that's gonna be a shit show when that happens too.
Oh, the confrontation with Shay and Callista is coming. Don't worry about that. And speaking of Callista, Cora.
Speaking of Callista, hi, my name is Cora. I played Callista for the evening, and yeah, I am excited because while Callista might not be showing it blatantly, she's having a lot of feelings right now about this circumstance and the situation and the people she's thrown herself in with. So that'll be an experience. I'm excited.
Just for the evening.
Okay.
I am Kyrea Tedrekin, but you can call me Kay. Please check out my Patreon, Kyrea's Creations. And I played Sorrow, Tiefling, Barbarian, Warlock. Believes she was born evil and irredeemable, therefore, but maybe, just maybe, there is a spark of hope. Who knows? Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen. I go by Savage Sparrow on the internet. SavageSparrow.com is my awesome website for nerdy apparel and accessories. Patreon.com/SavageSparrow if you want to check out my art. You can join for free and view all the artwork that is finished that I've been working on, or you can join for money and see the behind the scenes stuff and how I do things. It's pretty cool. Tonight I played Ilmarin, the Oath of Redemption Sorkadin. And boy howdy, was that some fun oath-based roleplay.
Oath of Redemption Paladin's got a work cut out for her with this group.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, just a bit.
Again, I put points into strength so I could do this emotional labor. Yeah.
All right. Until next time we meet, stick to the shadows. Try not to get stabbed.